You meet someone new. They remember every single thing you said. They look at you like you are the most interesting person in the room. They laugh at exactly the right moments. They say everything you have always wanted to hear. And within hours, maybe even minutes, you think to yourself, this person is incredible. Then months later, you are sitting there wondering how you ever trusted them at all. Here is what nobody tells you. That perfect first impression was not an accident. It was a performance. And by the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly how narcissists pull it off so well. And more importantly, what subtle signs you can catch early before it is too late. Stay with me, because the last point I make is the one that changes everything. Most people show up to a first meeting just being themselves. A narcissist shows up with a role already prepared. Think of it like this. Imagine every social interaction is an audition. Most people just walk in and say their lines. A narcissist has rehearsed, studied the director, and already knows what part they are going to play before they walk through the door. This is not accidental. Narcissists are driven by an obsessive need for admiration and external validation. That need creates an almost predatory level of social awareness. They walk into a room scanning for what people want, what they respond to, and how to become exactly that. And here is the uncomfortable truth. They are very, very good at it. One of the most powerful narcissist charm tactics is something called mirroring. And when you understand how it works, you will never look at a great first impression the same way again. Mirroring is when someone subtly reflects your body language, your speech patterns, your values, and your interests back at you. You mention you love hiking, and suddenly they love hiking too. You talk slowly and thoughtfully, and they match your pace. You lean in, they lean in. Now here is why this is so disarming. When someone seems just like us, we feel safe around them. Our brain reads similarity as trustworthiness. It is hardwired. Narcissists exploit this instinct deliberately. They are not connecting with you. They are becoming a version of you and handing it back as a reflection. That feeling of instant connection, that sense of this person just gets me, is often the mirroring technique working exactly as intended. Think back to the last time a narcissist made you feel seen. There is a good chance they held eye contact in a way that felt almost hypnotic, not creepy, not aggressive, magnetic. This is not a coincidence. Narcissists understand that sustained warm eye contact triggers the release of oxytocin in the other person. Oxytocin is literally the bonding hormone. It is the same chemical that makes you trust someone. By simply holding eye contact longer than the average person, they are triggering a biological response in you that creates feelings of closeness and safety. Combined with the mirroring technique, you have someone who looks like you, sounds like you, and now has your brain chemistry working in their favor. That is not charm. That is a calculated psychological process. But here is where things get really interesting. Once a narcissist has identified you as a target worth pursuing, they shift into what psychologists call love bombing. And this is where the fake persona becomes almost impossible to see through in real time. Love bombing is the overwhelming flood of attention, compliments, affection, and connection that comes at the very beginning of a relationship. They text constantly. They make you feel irreplaceable. They say things like, "I have never felt this comfortable with anyone so quickly." And the reason this works so effectively is because it mirrors what most people secretly want. Not just a partner, but someone who makes them feel extraordinary. A narcissist studies you quickly, identifies that emotional hunger, and then becomes the exact person who feeds it. By the time the love bombing ends and the real personality surfaces, you are already emotionally invested. You are already hooked, and now your brain is chasing that original feeling, wondering what you did wrong and how to get it back. One of the most recognizable narcissist personality traits is a level of confidence that feels almost infectious. And there is a reason it is so persuasive. When someone walks into a room completely at ease with themselves, we instinctively interpret that confidence as competence. We assume they know something we do not. We assume they are worth listening to. Social hierarchies get established in seconds, and confidence is the currency. Narcissists know this. Their inflated self-image, while psychologically unhealthy, becomes socially useful in the short term. They do not second-guess themselves visibly. They project certainty. And in a world full of people filled with self-doubt, someone who seems certain becomes deeply attractive. This is why narcissists are so charming and attractive to people on first meeting. It is not about looks or intelligence. It is about the performance of certainty. Now, this next part might surprise you, because we typically think of narcissists as self-absorbed, and long-term they are. But in the early stages, they do something that completely contradicts that reputation. They listen, not just politely, deeply, actively. They ask follow-up questions. They remember small details. They bring up something you said 30 minutes earlier. And this feels remarkable because most people in your life are half listening, waiting for their turn to speak. But here is what is actually happening. That listening is data collection. Every personal detail you share becomes a tool. Every vulnerability you reveal becomes leverage. Every dream you mention becomes part of the character they will perform for you. You think you are building a real connection. They are building a profile. One reason narcissist red flags are so hard to catch early is because their compliments do not sound like flattery. Generic flattery is easy to dismiss. What a narcissist gives you feels different. They compliment something specific, something that shows they actually paid attention, something that touches on a part of yourself that you rarely feel recognized for. And when someone sees that part of you, the part you thought nobody noticed, the emotional impact is enormous. This is deliberate. Targeting an overlooked or underappreciated part of someone's identity creates a powerful emotional attachment. It makes you feel uniquely understood, and that feeling of being truly seen becomes one of the hardest things to walk away from. Here is something most people do not know. Narcissism exists on a spectrum, and at its higher levels it overlaps with what psychologists call the dark triad personality, which includes narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. Research consistently shows that individuals high in dark triad traits score higher on short-term attractiveness and social success. They are more likely to be perceived as leaders, more likely to be described as charismatic, more likely to win trust quickly in group settings. Why? Because they have no internal emotional noise slowing them down, no self-doubt, no empathy creating hesitation, no genuine vulnerability making them awkward. Every social interaction is a transaction, and they approach it with ruthless clarity. That smoothness you sense in someone who never seems rattled or uncertain, that is often not confidence in the healthy sense. That is the absence of the emotional friction that makes most people human, and this is where most people make a mistake. They look for red flags in what a narcissist does wrong, but the early warning signs are actually hidden in what they do too right. Too much intensity too fast, too many perfectly timed compliments, a story about themselves that always lands just right, an unusual lack of anything that makes them seem flawed, an uncanny ability to become exactly who you need them to be. Real connection is messy, real people are inconsistent, real charm has gaps and awkward pauses and moments of genuine vulnerability. When everything feels too polished, too perfect, too precisely calibrated to your preferences, that is not chemistry. That is a strategy. Trust the discomfort when things feel too good to be immediately true. Your instincts are usually tracking something real, even before your conscious mind can explain it. Remember what I told you at the start. That person who seemed so incredible, so tuned in, so perfectly matched to everything you wanted, was performing. The charm was real. The person behind it was not. Now that you understand the psychology of narcissist charm tactics, the mirroring technique, love bombing, and the calculated nature of how narcissists fool everyone, you are harder to fool. And that awareness is genuinely powerful. If this video helped you connect the dots, you are going to want to watch my next one, where I break down exactly what happens after the mask comes off, and why so many people stay even when they already know the truth. If this gave you clarity, drop a like, because it genuinely helps this video reach people who need it. And if you want to understand people at a deeper level, subscribe, because that is exactly what this channel is built for.